Hey YouTube, it's the Fearless Freshman again. Alright, so you're ready to start putting together application packets. You've already done all your research, you've narrowed down your list of schools you want to apply to, maybe you have 4 or 5 schools that you're set on, so now you're ready to start putting together your application packets. And you notice that on all the different websites, they all ask for several parts to their application process. One thing that they all have in common is that they require a letter of recommendation. Some may even require more than one. Alright, so how do you go about getting that? All right, so I have just a few small pieces of advice to go about getting really good letters of recommendation, okay? So the first thing is you got to know who to ask. Keep in mind, when colleges require letters of recommendation, they don't really want them from your family, okay? So don't ask mom, don't ask your brother or anything like that. They want to see that people in your community know you, okay? Because they know that your family's probably going to give you a wonderful letter and say, oh, he's so wonderful, or she's so wonderful, she works really hard. They know they're going to say that, so they want someone on the outside of your family. The best place to go? Teachers. These are people that you're around all the time when you're in high school. Okay, so this is why, for my high schoolers, this is why it really pays to be a good student. Even if you struggle in a subject, it pays to be a good student. What I mean by that is try your best, show up on time, show up regularly to class, don't goof off in class, and ask for help. When the teacher sees that you care, they're going to take more of an interest in you, okay? So they'll be less likely to turn you down when it comes time for you to do a letter, because I can tell you as a teacher, I have turned some people down for writing them letters, all right? So teachers are great, coaches are great. If you do any kind of community service, they're wonderful. If you want to go with an employer, if you have a part-time job, that's an excellent source for a recommendation letter too. Basically, anybody that has seen you on a day-to-day basis, maybe they've seen you work in some way, they've seen like your work ethic, they know your personality, they've seen you under some kind of pressure, they can really attest to your personality. And that's what you want, okay? You want someone else in the community other than your family that can really talk about you and sell your personality to the school. They basically want to know, if we accept this person into our university or into our college, how are they going to be an asset to us? So that's why you want to ask those type of people that you encounter all the time. All right, so that's who you ask. Now, on to the next part. When do you ask? This is another suggestion. Ask early. If I were you and I'm ready to start putting together application packets, that would be the first thing that I do. Because a letter of recommendation is really small, but if you wait around and save it for last, it can be such a headache. So it's best to ask them early. That's what I did when I applied. I think I applied to about 5 schools my senior year. And so I did that first. I asked them maybe like in September. Most students, when they apply, if they apply in the fall of their senior year, most of those deadlines are going to be somewhere between like the end of October or the beginning of December. Okay, so really ballpark figure like around November-ish. Okay, so October and November come up really, really quick, okay? There's so many holidays in the fall when you're in school. You got homecoming, games, you got all kind of other student activities that you may be involved in, and then you have your classes, so you don't want to wait around on that. The best thing to do, ask them as soon as you start your applications, all right? So you pick out your teachers, and also, let me say this too, pick more than one person. Don't just ask one person to do your letter, because things happen, life happens, okay? So maybe they get busy, they don't get to, write your letter, they may just honestly forget, so you always want to have a backup. I think I asked maybe like 3 or 4 people. I only had to turn in, I think, 2 letters, but I just made sure I asked multiple people just to have them as a backup. And I had to do the same thing when I was in college applying to graduate school. I had to have letters of recommendation, so I made sure that I asked multiple people that I had a good relationship with. All right, so make sure you ask them early, ask multiple people. When you ask those people, it's a good idea to tell them what schools you're applying to. So when they write the letter, and for the most part, the letters, it's best if the letters are on some kind of letterhead, whether it's the school's letterhead or company letterhead that they work for, whatever, however they know you. It's good if they can have a letterhead to do your recommendation letter. But make sure you give them a list of the schools that you're applying to. So what I did when I had them write my letters, I had already on a sheet of paper written out the 5 schools and also the address for the Office of Admissions. If you don't know the address for that particular school, what you can do is go on that school's website. There should be a page or a tab or something about admissions and the deadlines and all that. If you don't see it at the top, scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, and you should see at the very bottom of the page, it'll usually say such and such university Office of Admissions, okay, or Department of Admissions or something like that, and it'll have the address. So it really helps, because when they address it, they may say to whom it may concern. They may say, dear such and such Office of Admissions, but also just to have in the heading, they could have the name and the address and all that. And that also shows that you're taking initiative, that you really are serious about this. Okay, so give them the information. And last but not least, when they write your letters and you pick them up from from your teachers or whoever, your coaches or whoever, it's always good to actually two things. It's always good to get more than one copy, to ask them if it's okay if they print out, more than one copy of it, because usually when they give you a letter of recommendation, most people are going to seal it in an envelope that is not for you to see. So if you want to see what they wrote, either they'll show you maybe on the computer, or they'll print out another copy. So ask for more than one copy of that letter, okay? And then finally, when you do get those letters, it's always a good look to give them some sort of courtesy, whether it's like just writing a thank you card, a thank you letter. I remember when I was in graduate school and I had two of my favorite professors. They wrote me letters to help me get into graduate school. And even before I knew that I was accepted into the master's program, I got them thank you cards, but then also I got them a small little gift. It's something related to their sorority, and they really appreciated it, And you don't want them to feel like you're taking advantage of their kindness, okay? That you're very appreciative. That's becoming a lost art, just basic common courtesy and etiquette. So whenever, you have a teacher or coach or someone do a courtesy like that, it's just good to return the favor and just show your gratitude, all right? Because you never know. You may have to call on them again at some point, okay? So with that said, when you start your applications, the first thing you should do is go ahead and figure out who you're gonna ask, all right? Get that out the way so it can already be in the works while you're putting together your packets and getting your transcripts and your fees and all that stuff, and then it should be smooth sailing from them. So hopefully this helped you. So if you have any questions, be sure to comment, like, subscribe, share it, if you think it's a helpful video, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.